You're listening to Reach for More, a podcast dedicated to great technicians who owe it to themselves to know more about the opportunities to reach greater success. I'm your host, DJ Biersack, and I'm joined by CEO and founder, Greg Biersack.
DJ, it's great to be with you today. Thanks so much for the invite.
We're going to dive right into it, and we're going to ask you a couple quick questions about the foundation of Reach. So just tell me a little bit about where Reach came from. How did you come up with the idea? Why this industry? And really what your purpose is behind everything you started with Reach?
Yeah, thanks. Great questions. So I was in the industry for 21 years, and I had a chance to work for a large supply company. And during that time, I had the chance to get to know many great technicians. Lots of co-travel time. That was a lot of fun. And at the end of that 21 years, I found myself with an opportunity to do something different. I received the advice from a couple of really great mentors, and they both recommended that I step back and really think about what's important to me. And after a couple of months thinking about the things that I was really passionate about, it became really clear that the work that the technicians do every day, I just had such admiration for that. And that was an area that I said, I think that I want to go down in the path of setting up a company that is all built around technicians. I think the second thing is that I recognized I had a really deep passion for how can you deliver better, more innovative service. And I recognize that within the dental industry, that's primarily controlled by a handful of relatively large supply companies, that service hadn't really become innovative. And it was just okay. And so now we had an opportunity to be able to do something that was really different and really better. And I think those were the things that really created within me the fire to start Reach and to be able to build a company that was all around technicians, their success, and giving them the chance to really be able to deliver that better and more innovative service.
You being driven by your experiences with them and feeling like they deserve more, or that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of one of the things that as I was looking at this, I kept going back to how could these really great technicians have a better, more rewarding, more joyful professional career, a career where their potential was truly unlimited, and that was a great source of inspiration for me. And then, as I mentioned, for me, I was really fortunate that I had a chance to get to know a number of really great technicians. And so when I was thinking about how could I have a chance to be able to make their lives more rewarding, it was really a cool thought.
Well, let's go on that. Tell me about the difference maker, or what makes Reach different. What is it that you guys do as a company internally, but also what do you guys do for the technicians specifically that makes it so different than any other company that exists?
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned, having a company that has as its purpose technician success, every single thing that you do, every single thing that you think about really goes around their success. Every decision that you make, you go back to that same North Star to say, is this going to help a technician be more successful or not? Right. So, just a few quick examples. Setting up a really defined territory for the technician where they're going to get to know all the clients that are in that territory. Okay. They become the office's guy. And the office trusts them and knows them. And they get to know that office's equipment inside and out. It just allows them to be more successful in building the relationship with the clients, knowing that they're going to go ahead and get to take care of that client all the time. I think another important piece that we've done is preventive maintenance. And I think a lot of companies talk about it from a conceptual standpoint, but do you really dedicate yourself to it? where you're looking at that office from stem to stern, looking at every single thing that's going on in the office and taking care of both the big potential problems, vacuums, compressors, but you're also looking at the nuisances as well. And for us, when I think about our technician success, giving them that encouragement, the tools, the opportunity to be rewarded for really diving deep into preventive maintenance with their clients just helps them be more successful in those relationships with those clients.
So I can imagine that with the preventative maintenance piece and some other aspects of what you guys do, that really helps the technicians and Reach as a whole be connected with the clients. So what can you tell me a little bit more about some of the things that you do in addition to those that helps maintain that connected and personal relationship that is really important to Reach?
Yeah. One of the things, I'm glad you asked that question, because one of the things that I think is so different, so innovative of what we're doing, and I think it comes from the territory that technician has and that technician is attached and connected to those clients, is the fact that when a client requests service, they request it through what we call Reach Connect, which is our client web app.
Okay.
And when they make a request, it goes directly to that technician. There's no dispatcher. There's no middle person. It goes directly to that technician. The technician can understand very quickly what the problem is, what needs to be done, and can then schedule to go to that office, what works for the office and what works for that technician as well.
Gotcha.
So that close connection really allows us to elevate the service to the client.
So in your time since you started Reach, I can tell that these core values in you and the answers you've given me are really powerful and so deeply rooted in you and the rest of the team. And so tell me a little bit about the personal experiences you've had, whether it's your co-travel experiences or working with the other members of the team. Tell me some really impactful stories about the times that you have been able to, in the field, experience that personal, connected, ease of use, all these different things that are really important to Reach. Tell me some times when you've experienced that firsthand.
Yeah. Well, when you start a company, you hope that, especially a company that's so purpose-driven, you hope that you're going to get to see relatively quickly that purpose living out in what happens day to day. And I've got two really good examples. The first one comes from Daryl, who's our technician in Portland. And the last time I had a chance to co-travel with Daryl was probably about a month ago. And every single office that we went into raved about their relationship with him and how connected they were to him and how great it was that they always got him. And so to me, when you put together this idea, this concept, you want to be able to see it play out exactly like that really strong connection. And it wasn't just about how the client felt. It was about how Daryl felt, because Daryl knew that these were his clients.
Right.
And he had that real strong sense of ownership in his relationship with those offices and his feeling and almost the sense of ownership of their equipment is his equipment. So that was really cool and really powerful to be able to see. The second example is when I was co-traveling with Carlos, who's down in Austin recently. And I had a cup of coffee with Carlos before we started out to visit some of his clients. And the first thing that Carlos started with was, I feel like a different technician when I put on my Reach shirt.
Wow.
And that, and so I just had to know more. I mean, it was pretty cool, pretty emotional to be able to hear that, because when you set up a company where you're hoping that people will be able to feel that way, and you hear that, it's pretty powerful. So I wanted to know more, and mostly what Carlos talked about is how he is viewed differently from his clients now than how he was viewed. He feels like an advisor, a consultant to these offices, and they treat him as such. He's not just the guy, hey, go in there and go fix that thing and be on your way. It's the, hey, Carlos, I want to get your thoughts on this. I want to get your opinions on this. And he just said that he just feels so much better as a person because of that relationship that he has with the clients and how they are relying on him. So those are just a couple of good examples of that purpose being evident, being fulfilled out into the field.
Gotcha. Well, Greg, thank you so much for everything we covered today. I really appreciate your input and the way you deep dive into everything that we talk about.
Well, it is really my pleasure. I enjoy being part of this.
Thanks for listening to the Reach for More podcast. Join us for a discussion about our key beliefs on the next episode. I'm your host, DJ Biersack. See you next time.